Hello, this is Pamela, psychic medium. I'm recognized by CBS as one of the top 5 psychics in Houston, and this is my show, Parachat. Today we're at Oak Park Cemetery here in the Alvin area, and what we're out here today for is we are comparing 2 ways of collecting e.v.p. In case you don't know what e.v.p. is the abbreviation for electronic voice phenomena. This is where spirits use what's called white noise to collect the energy, because they themselves is only about as big around as the ballpoint pen end of the tip of the pen. So they utilize the noise of the energy that surrounds us in order to form the words that they say. Well, with e.v.p., the old way of doing it, you'd record and then you'd process, and you get class A's, B's, and C's. A's as clear as you and I talking right now. B's a little distorted but very audible, and then class C is what we call the whisper voices, which is really hard to hear you if you're really listening intently. But anyways, we've got 2 devices here. We've got the old way, and we've got a newer way that's been around for a little bit but still newer than the old way, called a ghost box. I started saying ghost box. Y'all have to forgive me. Today is one of the hottest days that we've had so far in Texas. It's July 7th of 2016. Heat index earlier today was 107. It's a little bit better now because we got a breeze, and that's why I'm dressed the way I am, and I only own a black bra. So because of that, that's why you get to see the full me, and it's produced. I guess you could say my balls are bigger than most men. Mine just hasn't dropped yet. Anyways, I have a very special guest with me today. Her name is Regina, and she's going to explain the ghost box for us. Regina, take it on.
Okay, hello. Ghost box come in many shapes and forms. This is the most common one, and as Pamela was saying, many people will use this in efforts to be able to capture real time. Let me explain how it works. As you can see, you've got where you're going to turn it on, power button here. And this is actually just basically a radio. Some people say FM, some people say AM as far as to capture the best sound effects. I prefer AM. Right here, it shows you what, turn on the backlight, 200 ms. You can have it, there's been people who've used it as little as 100, 150, and you're going to adjust it. Remember, this is the volume. Let's turn the volume all the way up. This is your AM FM. This turns it up. This helps you determine your radio stations. Whenever you are listening though, you want to put it in reverse sweep because it will pick up. So you're going to press this down to where it's going really quickly. And to give it a little bit of help for people with old ears, such as myself, you put in a little microphone or speaker. Do not have to use it, it's just something that a lot of people use. And then you ask it questions and wait. Now if you listen carefully, you'll hear some backgrounds where it sounds like that there's radio stations going on. And you will capture a lot of radio stations. I tend to get a lot of Spanish stations on this particular one. So to know, the question is how do I know, do I have a legitimate e.v.p. or not? The best way to know is if this thing is continuing on. If it's not continuing on, it just stops at one station, it is not going to be a legitimate e.v.p. Whenever you're doing this, even though this is typically used for regular e.v.p., you always want to record whatever it is that you're recording, because sometimes with this going so fast, you may actually capture something and it doesn't always, you don't always hear it with a naked ear. And you just sit back and you ask questions. You ask it?
Sure. What I would like to ask is if anybody here in this particular area of Oak Park Cemetery, which is very lovely by the way, would like to let us know either how they died or when they died, and we'll give you 60 seconds to answer and respond. Okay, the 60 seconds is now up. This particular grave site we are leaning over and using for a table, which I apologize ahead of time. We're not trying to be disrespectful to you in any way, shape, or form, my dear. But is there any way you could possibly let us know what your name is? Because we do not see a name anywhere on this grave. First or last. Again, you have 60 seconds to respond from now. I think I heard Fred.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Fred, for actually giving us your name. I don't know if everybody else heard that, but he said his name was Fred. Okay. Thank you so much for letting us know that your name was Fred. We would also like to know if you could tell us maybe how or what caused your death. You have 60 seconds to answer from this point. Okay, I actually was hearing a couple of voices, and the only one I made out clearly is one said sleep. I heard sleep very distinctly, at least with my ears. I don't know if Regina heard that word too as well, but I heard sleep. And then there were some other voices that was popping in there, so I think other people were trying to talk as well, but I didn't quite get in what it was that they were saying to me.
I heard help and hung. That is not unusual. I cannot even think of a time that I have not been at a cemetery where I didn't have at least one or two people ask for help.
Okay.
So it could be somebody that wants to cross over, not quite sure, maybe somebody that's a little confused.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I've gotten a lot of them say help before too as well. I've even had them say that help, I'm in hell. I've caught spirits in this particular cemetery that says want cream with your coffee and died in the military. And I actually had one time tell me a lady's name, and I went back to the cemetery the next day and actually found the actual tombstone, which we'll show you in this film as well. And the name was Alice Punetta. And the EVP I captured was her name is Alice Punetta. And that was really cool when I came back the very next day and actually found a gravestone with that name on it, which, like I said, later in this show, I'll be showing you that exact gravestone.